Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and this is the fourth set from the Wildcard tournament to take effort spot. This is the last of the preliminary games, the first round. We had 8 players to begin with, and this is the last game. Cal beating Hero, Hyuk beating Stats, and Roro beating Midas. And now we're going to be on to the final game, Bisu and Violet. The winner of this game will play Roro on the, in order to get a spot in the final and try and take effort spots. And we got Bisu and Violet. Bisu in purple, so Bisu in Violet, and Violet in Teal. So Bisu's got an obvious advantage here right off the bat as the purple Protoss player. I actually can't remember where that started, but apparently purple Protosses are lucky Protosses. They don't lose very often, so purple Protoss is lucky Protoss, and so Bisu, the dagger, is going to start off with that little bit of a mini pseudo-comical superstitious advantage, for whatever that counts, if you are as superstitious or not. I'm a hockey fan, so I am like one of the most superstitious people you'll find when it comes to like sporting events or like, you know, basically any sort of competition. I am very, very superstitious, so obviously, so I believe it at least a little bit. Even though I'm not a huge Bisu fan, but I still believe it at least a little bit. And yeah, that's that. Yeah, my hockey fandom is very superstitious. I have 2 Pittsburgh Penguins jerseys, and I have gone through games where I have switched between them like 6 times because like we're playing well with one jersey, so I'm like, okay, I'll keep it, and then we start playing badly, and then I switch jerseys because, you know, they were playing badly because I was wearing the wrong jersey, obviously. So yeah, that's what I do. Both these guys, we'll just get back to the game. Both these guys being very, very normal, pylon gateways, sitting in their bases. They're both on the bottom half of the map. This is Circuit Breaker, which was the same as the game between Cal and Hero. So you've got the 3 bases in the corners, the main, the natural, and then if you wrap around towards the bottom of the map for each of these players, you'll see the mineral only. Just to give you a little bit of a reminder. And both these guys are going to also scout in the incorrect direction to start with, and they will scout each other last unless they send out a second probe or scout diagonally. Now, the last couple games have gone by very, very fast. I think both of them were under 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. Very, very quick. So we'll probably a little less likely that we'll see that now, see a game go under 6 or 7 minutes, but you never know with Bisu and Violet. You never know. Someone could go and, like, you know, 2-gate, 3-gate goon, or someone could skip zealots entirely and lose to someone else's like early couple zealots that come out. You know, sometimes people do something crazy and lose. And yeah, looks like Violet actually went for a core first before producing a zealot, so maybe I was a little bit fortuitous. We'll see. Yeah, Violet went for a core and then a zealot. So. And Bisu going for that zealot first, getting it on the ramp to block any sort of a scout. He's going to be very, very successful doing that. And Violet trying to block with a probe. It's usually a little bit harder to do that. And yeah, that zealot is a little bit late, so that probe is going to get the scout on it, and that's a huge advantage for Bisu. Obviously, he's going to see that core going down, that the core went down first, and he's going to be able to probably keep the scout alive for a while, certainly until a Dragoon comes out. And Violet's just gonna have to play it relatively standard. Gonna have to just, you know, do that range whether he wants to or not. Oh, Bisu, dagger! What were you doing? Letting that probe into his base. So yeah, that probe gets into the base, and Bisu's scouting advantage that he had a monopoly on scouting advantage completely lost now. So yeah, now we kind of I mean, it's basically even at this point. But Violet did get that Cybernetics core down just slightly sooner, so his range will also finish maybe 20 seconds earlier, I would say, somewhere around there, 20 to 30 seconds earlier. So if he chooses to attack in that 20 or 30 second gap, if he can find that gap and get enough goons out to try and put some pressure on there, that could end up being a little bit of a fight advantage. Yeah, that's about that. It would be interesting if he was able to pull off that kind of a time. It would be very, very cool. It's not a very big window, but it is technically a window. We have a robotics facility coming up for Bisu now, and for Violet we have nothing. Maybe we're gonna see a Nexus soon. Yep, no tech going down, no Citadel, no Robo, so I'm going to suspect that we're going to see a Nexus come down very, very shortly. We do see a probe going out to the natural expansion, and there it is. There's the Nexus. So we're going to have a quick expansion from Violet, and Bisu does not really know that this is coming, and a couple of those Dragoons out for Violet probably should be enough to stop any sort of a probe wandering in there and seeing what's going on. Bisu playing pretty standard, getting that second gateway along with his Robo, and Is he throwing down? No, those are just some units. For a second I thought he was throwing down a Nexus too. I was like, really? That would be not really cool. I hope Bisu goes Reaver first, so that way he can punish Violet for being a little bit greedy. But we'll see what he does, and it looks like he's sending out a probe right now to try and do some scouting. I think he's gonna maybe go a roundabout. Yeah, you can see him. He's going roundabout, and he's gonna try and come around through the top and come through that narrow bridge at the top, and hope that he can slip by those Dragoons of Violet, I think. Or maybe he's coming over here to the 3 o'clock position to sneak a base? Not entirely sure. Maybe gonna hide his tech? Kind of confused as to what that probe is doing, to be entirely honest. Looks like he's gonna go observatory, so he's gonna go observer first. There's a support bay, so I have absolutely no idea what this what that probe is doing there at the 9 o'clock position. Seeing how it hasn't even thrown down a neck, I don't know what's going on. And Violet getting his Nexus up. His Nexus is up and has just Maynarded. It looks like he put a pylon there. Maybe it's just supposed to be a scouting pylon. He just wants to know if a shuttle heads up that way or something, I guess. But kind of surprising, kind of weird. That's okay. That is a-okay. And Violet, within maybe another minute, he's gonna get all of the economic advantage of having that Nexus down. So that Nexus down so much earlier. And yeah, so Bisu will have to come out with his Reavers and do some damage. He will have to do some damage, or he will fall too economically behind. You can already see Violet has 3 gateways operating. Really, they'll be operating at all times, producing units, and he can probably get a 4th and a 5th in pretty soon, depending upon how many. Depending upon how that Robo, and if he decides to maybe even skip Reavers entirely. Hard to tell. Sometimes players do skip Reavers and just go straight for that Templar tech, with, you know, varying success to say the least. And Bisu is on the move. The Reaver has come out, and that shuttle has picked it up and is heading towards Violet's base. Violet has produced an observer and sees this force for Bisu, so he knows what's going on. He knows that there's a force out here, and Violet with a lot of Dragoons. Violet has a lot of Dragoons, but Bisu has the Reaver. So I think Bisu would love it if he could get on the high ground and fight from the high ground, but obviously I don't think Violet's possibly going to be that dumb and like charge into it. But that Reaver, nice scarab coming in from that Reaver, taking down a couple of Dragoons. Another scarab going off and doing a lot of damage to, I think, 4 Dragoons took some heavy damage. So Violet is actually in some trouble here, and that Reaver gonna get another scarab off. 2 more Dragoons go down, and Violet dashing in here with his Dragoons, trying to pick off that shuttle, not able to do so. And Bisu actually looks like he's gonna come away with the victories. Oh man, that Reaver shot gets a lot of probes too, and GG coming from Violet. That Reaver being the entire difference, and Bisu just like, yep, that's what I do. Pretty standard, pretty simple, easy, a-okay. Just took it down, did my thing, and that's game. So that's how Bisu apparently is gonna do it, and taking Violet down with ease. Wow, that was actually pretty impressive how easy he did that. He got there probably towards the end of his window that he had to take down Violet, and did it very, very well. Nothing else to say. That was great great timing by Bisu. Pretty standard builds from both of them, and Bisu just did it better. So that's it. We're gonna go on to the next game. I think it's gonna be, well, it's either Cal versus Hyuk or Bisu versus Roro, and depending upon, I can't read the file I downloaded because it's in Korean, so I can't really tell which one it is. But yeah, I will see you in the next game. We're gonna go on to the semifinals of this wildcard tournament.